Hi! So today I'm going to be cleaning out the coop, but I wanted to make a video because I've had a little, I don't know, drama with my mama bird. Actually, the drama has been all mine and I've created it, but we are getting ready to leave town. It's a little bit problematic when you have a broody hen when you're trying to leave town, because then somebody has to come over every single day and get eggs. You either have to mark the eggs and let the mom sit on them, and then in 21, 28 days you have chicks to deal with, or you just continue to collect the eggs out from underneath her. And that is problematic because the chicken, their broody cycle will last, I don't know how long. I've had chickens that have been broody for 3 months. So if the eggs that they're sitting on fail to hatch, or if those eggs are taken or stolen or whatever happens, eaten, or she moves nests and then abandons her eggs that she's been sitting on and now has other eggs, and those for some reason don't hatch, they will just continue to stay broody a lot of times. Some chickens will give up the game and they'll just move on, but some won't until they have those babies. So faced with a broody hen and no chicks yet, and we're leaving town, and I have a girlfriend that's going to come over and watch them, but I didn't want her to have to deal with chicks. And so I tried to move the mama, as you guys saw in my broody hen video. I tried to move her into the brooder. Well, that didn't work. So a couple nights later, I moved her at nighttime with the nest. She didn't act like she was going to accept it. It was a little bit cold out and I was a little reluctant to just leave the eggs there. But I closed the lid, came back a couple hours later, and she was indeed sitting on the eggs. So that was a good story. So now she's in the brooder, she's on the eggs, right where I wanted her to be, and she could just hatch those babies and stay in that brooder for the duration of those little chicks' lives. So after a week or two, I will take the screen down and allow them to run around in the pen, but just not be free because we have so many predatory birds like hawks and things like that. So I got her successfully moved over. Well, after 2 days of being in the brooder, she was penned in. I put a screen blocking her, blocking the entrance so she couldn't leave, so she wouldn't go back to the nesting box. And I figured after a couple days, like, she probably wants to take a dust bath and go poo and eat and do her thing. She has food and water in there with her, but they just like to get out and once a day just kind of like stretch their wings a little. And so I took the grate down. 2 days later, I came back and she's back in the nesting box. I'm like, oh no. So I go into the brooder because her eggs, if they're cold, they've probably been out for at least a day and they wouldn't be viable anymore. And so I go to look for her eggs and they're gone. There's just some broken shell and yolk. So the door was open. I don't know what came in and got them. I know I do have one hen that is an egg eater, and generally those hens get culled from the pack because they will teach that behavior to other hens. I just don't have the heart to do it. So, and it's not a huge problem. So she's a occasional eater. So I see that the eggs have been eaten and I'm horrified, right? Because those are the baby birds, and there's no sign of blood or any carnage. It was just yolk. So they probably weren't fertilized, which explains why she's been sitting on them for, what, 4 weeks now. And we have no babies. So I go to the farm store to get some food, and I'm like, not gonna look at the chicks. Don't even go over near the chicks. Like, do not look at the chicks. And I go straight to the chicks. This little chick comes straight up to me. I put my nose in the glass. It's pecking at my nose. I'm in love with the chick. It wants to come home. So, so 3 baby chicks and I get in the car and we come home, and I try to stuff them under the mama in the daytime. I should have waited till night, but I just didn't want to deal with them anymore. So, long story short, the mama was not having it. Like, those weren't her babies. She knew it. they didn't even know what she was. They didn't know she was a mama bird. They've never seen a mama bird. So they were just running around, didn't know that the warm spot was underneath her. She didn't want anything to do with them, so she's roosting up out of their way. So now I have 3 babies in the house in a box. I have a mama that's broody. She's in the brooder box. I read on the internet that you can apparently break them if you leave them in the box for a couple days with food and water, and no nest and no eggs. So I'm going to try that. I don't know if it will work. Worst case scenario, she continues to be broody. She sits in the nesting box and her eggs get taken every day. I don't really know what else to do. So, so yeah, there you have it.